smokes, XRP Army, $1 billion. Ripple just made a massive move at a time where there is blood in the streets. The entire crypto market is in mania. Nobody knows if the global order is collapsing or what's going to happen next. I don't know. I'm in the crypto market, so I think I'm in the right place. I'm going to be telling you about a huge news piece that came out just today when it comes to Ripple and how this, of course, can be positive for XRP's price. Let's just get into the stuff. Ripple is raising at least, keep in mind, at least $1 billion to purchase XRP. Wow. And now I know immediate questions people are going to ask. Ripple already owns a lot of that supply on the escrow, right? So aren't they just going to dump it all? And, do we need to raise money to buy back XRP? Well, the entire idea behind the escrow is to not dump everything, to have price control. Price control is one of the most important things in crypto. And I'll talk more about price control because I think that people, for some reason, think crypto is decentralized when it's really not. But I'll get more into that later. Let's go ahead and read into this Bloomberg article, which I'm not going to subscribe, quite frankly. I instead have an image that just summarizes everything this Bloomberg article has. Ripple Labs said to lead a $1 billion fundraise for XRP Horde. This is the summary. Ripple Labs Incorporated is leading an effort to raise at least $1 billion to accumulate XRP. So this is by XRP, the digital token linked to the company through a special purpose acquisition company. So SPAC. The funds will be housed inside of a new digital asset treasury, and Ripple will contribute some of its own XRP. So that's cool. The planned digital asset treasury comes as crypto markets remain fragile after a huge sell-off, and investors have gotten more skeptical about digital asset treasuries. That's a big deal. The funds are to be housed inside of a new digital asset treasury. We know about DATs. DATs have been massive. If you know about Michael Saylor has currently the biggest DAT, $45 billion or so, currently on Bitcoin. A second one is Tom Lee. He's got Bitwise. They've got, or at least they had about $10 billion raised. These are big deals for cryptocurrency because I don't know if you've noticed, but alt season, as we come to know and love back in 2021, that doesn't exist anymore. That's a scam. All that's a scam. We haven't been in an alt season for a long time. The only alt season we've had is segmented to certain coins that have actually outperformed and, actually done something for society. One of them is XRP. XRP's been pumping. There's good reason XRP's been pumping. They have established market dominance in the United States. And I don't know if you've noticed, but all these digital asset treasury companies are on the NASDAQ. They're all on the stock market. All of them are on the stock market. And they are in the U.S. stock market specifically. So the U.S. crypto, this is why I keep talking about the made in USA cycle. I get that there's Chinese Bitcoin and everybody has Bitcoin globally. But really, all the moves we've been seeing in crypto, they've all been from these American companies, all of them. And so Ripple here is saying, we'll raise $1 billion and we'll buy back this token because while you're freaking out, we've got to accumulate more of this coin and we want it liquid. We want it liquid. We want upside. Upside is what they're predicting, and that's why they're raising money. So that's the idea behind such a big raise. This is coming during a time where gold is having a parabolic run. If you did not know why gold tends to run in these macro environments, I'll explain as someone that went to school for economics. In the most layman's terms, gold runs because the US dollar is not cooking. There is a debasement, essentially, that people are predicting with the US dollar, and so they're hedging with gold. Back in the 70s, Nixon decided to debase the dollar with gold because, they couldn't pay back the gold debt, so they decided to kind of get out of that stuff. That was a big deal because the longest time, the dollar was pretty stable because it was backed by gold, and gold didn't move too much. Now, these days, the dollar is just built on faith, and faith is a strong thing, don't get me wrong. But when people are selling their short-term treasuries and their long-term treasuries, et cetera, and they're buying gold, the faith is dissipating, or at least temporarily it's dissipating. People are predicting a change in the world order. Now, I would not freak out at the current price point of gold. I get it. It's a big run. Gold has practically gone ahead and had a massive rise. This is 60% in a single year. But as it stands, unless we see a $6,000 to $10,000 gold price, we've had some analysts predict about, $4,800, $5,000 gold. I am not worried. I'm not concerned. Obviously, there's a lot of turmoil in the markets. Obviously, the job market's not the greatest in the world. It's not. Let's be honest. But from a crypto investor's perspective, this is perfect macro environment. If gold's been running for the longest time because of the debasement of the US dollar, what is the point of being in crypto? What has been the entire point of this thing? It's to hedge against the faith of the US dollar. Whenever there's weakness in the US dollar, the crypto markets tend to rise. And so that's why we've seen Bitcoin. And I hate people that go around, they're like, oh, this is all over, Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. It's down 17%. It's down 17%. I've been in the crypto market for years at this point, half a decade. I've seen this thing down 50, 70, 80%. I've seen insane drawdowns. We are nowhere near. I think to even be categorized a quote unquote bear market, we got to be down at least 30%, at least 30%. So from my perspective, we are in a critical point in which gold is running. Gold's had a bit of a correction today, right? But gold's been running historically for the same exact reason Bitcoin normally runs. The reason I believe that the market is not reacting the same way and gold's, the whole gold Bitcoin thing, the relationship isn't one-to-one, is because of the US government and how much Bitcoin they hold. Now, they seized about $15 billion worth of Bitcoin, practically doubled their holdings in Bitcoin. Absolutely insane. Now, something I have to say about this, though, is that the US government holds a heck of a lot of gold. They're the biggest holder of gold globally by a long shot. It's not even close. So my POV is that the people that say that Bitcoin is too tied to the US, and so we're not going to be getting a run on Bitcoin as a result because of this whole US cycle, I think that you are a bit of oblivious on the fact that, yes, while China, Russia, BRICS is accumulating gold, the US holds a lot of gold. A lot of gold. And so they actually get the upside as well with gold. They get the same upside with gold. They benefit heavily from gold. So Bitcoin's going to run. Bitcoin's it's too immature of an asset to have that direct correlation. A closer correlation would be the stock market. As long as there's faith in the US government and the returns are there, foreign entities, sovereign wealth funds are going to be pouring capital into these S&P 500 companies. These top 500 companies in the United States. It's still up 25% in the past 6 months. It's up 0.3% in the past month. The stock market does not care. It really doesn't care. The only thing that's happening right now, the dollar is weakening. And so your purchasing power is weakening if you're holding US dollars and using it actively. Bitcoin's having a severe correction as a result of a liquidation cascade that is the worst that we've ever seen in mankind because people were way too over leveraged. They thought Bitcoin was going to go $300 billion. And now we need to see a reality set back in. Bitcoin dominance is creeping up again a bit. It's not too crazy. It's about 1.5%. It's up to 59%. I still think we got to get back to those yearly lows. 53.9%. That was the big number that last year when we were having that mania in altcoins, that's what we were seeing. If we're going to be seeing cryptocurrencies like XRP run, we've got to see that Bitcoin dominance cool down. And as it stands, it looks like the exact opposite is more than likely going to happen. I'm thinking that Bitcoin's going to keep running because one of these digital asset treasury companies are going to be buying this dip. They're going to be buying the heck out of this dip. But two, gold's running. And digital gold is Bitcoin. And if digital assets are going to keep running, Bitcoin's going to keep running. Bitcoin's the easiest hedge here. And so we need to see Bitcoin make new highs. We need to see Bitcoin run. And then we need to see confidence return to these altcoins. It's all we need to see. Or we just kind of distance ourselves from this whole narrative thing. And we realize the fact that, XRP is still up over the past year. It's still cooking up 310% over the past year, even during this correction, which is an insane correction here. Insane correction. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal. XRP, if it manages to continue its lead in the crypto markets, it's going to have a lot of upside here. And I don't buy the naysayers. I don't buy the naysayers here. I don't buy the naysayers that they're saying, looking around here with this narrative that, since the U.S. government owns more Bitcoin now, all of a sudden nothing's going to happen. These stock market, NASDAQ, treasury companies, they're the bane of cryptocurrency's existence. I don't buy it. Gold's market cap went up by $10 trillion. The total crypto market cap is $3.5 trillion. There's plenty of room for upside right now. And so once Bitcoin runs again, which I'm not convinced it's not going to run. Still, I know there's a bunch of people on Twitter freaking out and selling their houses and doing all kinds of stuff and giving up faith and hope. But I see this all as buying opportunities. I don't think that the people that just go all in at the all-time highs are doing well, but you shouldn't be doing that in the first place. You should be dollar cost averaging. The entire point of Bitcoin is to DCA. You don't just buy all your Bitcoin at once. And even if you do, you hold it for a long enough period of time, you're up in your Bitcoin. And the same can kind of be said with XRP. XRP practically made a new all-time high earlier this year. It did. I mean, look at this, 3.4. 3.4, and the all-time high was like, what, 3.8? I think it got to like 3.6 or 3.7, like practically all-time highs. You're doing great. You're doing great in comparison to every other cryptocurrency in the market. So that's where I'm at right now. This is a pretty big news catalyst. This is going to bring volume. This is going to bring stability. DAT companies are important. Figurehead companies are important. And overall, just good news during a time where the markets are in complete turmoil. So let me know your thoughts. Stay classy, and I'll see you all later.